Well, the war in Ukraine has a dark side, not just the 600,000 dead, of course, young men who were forced to fight in Zelensky's war, not just all the child trafficking going on in Ukraine, not just the baby making factories in Ukraine. Didn't hear about that? Yeah, those are real, by the way. We've covered it. And in case you need a refresher, here is the Swiss-based baby surrogacy company, Biotexcom, with a promo video explaining exactly how the desperate Ukrainian women can come into their bunkers, have their uterus basically turned into a baby-making machine in order to make some quick cash.
Now I will show you our bomb shelter, where we will transfer our clients and their newborns in case of the outbreak of hostilities in Kiev. Let's go.
So look at our nice facilities here.
Here is a toilet. Here we have a first aid kit. There are all the medications needed to administer first aid. Here you can see gas masks. There are instructions on how to use a gas mask all over the shelter. This bomb shelter can hold up to 200 people who will feel comfortable here. Here is our sitting and bedding zone. There are sleeping bags and beds. It's possible to sit or lie here. We have enough sleeping bags and gas masks for everyone who will stay here. There are shelvings with food, as well as tableware, napkins, diapers, and all the stuff needed for babies. Newborns will feel comfortable here. Everything needed can be done here. Here is our children's area. Here we can place newborn babies. There are special cots prepared for them. There are also cribs for a bit older babies. You can see that babies feel absolutely comfortable here.
Yeah. It's like staying at the Four Seasons. Yes, using them as baby-making factories. Surrogates need a womb, we've got you covered. And the rent-a-womb business is booming in Ukraine right now and expected to double over the next few years. And the best place to do it, of course, is in Ukraine, where desperate women are being exploited, of course. It's even worse than the baby bunkers, we should point out, if you can believe that. No, Ukrainian moms are mad as hell. Ukrainian moms are going to conscription offices and raising hell about their sons being dragged off to war. That's one thing. Of course, the mainstream media won't show you those videos. Those are astonishing to see all of these moms fighting back. But they are fed up and they want answers as to who's been harvesting the organs of their sons and their husbands. Who died on the battlefield after they were conscripted and thrown into the meat grinder? These Ukrainian women are demanding that the authorities hand over the information on who harvested the organs from their dead husbands and their dead sons. When they received their bodies, there were surgical marks and surgical removal of their organs.
Oh my God.
Sold off on the black market. Here's the original Ukrainian audio of moms protesting in Kiev, and then I'm going to play the English version.
Пишем, скривають, інформація удаляється. Ми зробимо афішу на весь Київ, на всі города. І не ми одні. Нас 11 закатованих ребят, які повернулися без органів. Без органів!
Я можу відповідати?
Да.
Now, here's the just an English quick translation of this so you can hear some of this.
We write, we hide, the information is deleted. We will make a poster for all of Kyiv, for all cities. And we're not alone. We are 11 tortured boys who returned without organs. Without organs.
Can I answer?
Да.
Oh. I mean, it's hers. She made it in her body.
Yeah.
Those organs were made.
And her son is dead now.
Yeah.
And someone robbed her son's organs.
That were made inside of her.
Yeah.
So they're hers. They belong to her. She has a right to know.
Where are my son's organs? Missing from his dead body. Or worse yet, where's my son's kidney? He's still alive.
Oh, no.
So when you're operating on him, also taking out organs of people who are still alive under sedation, who were harmed, injured on the battlefield, or down and out for a number of days. They wake up, oh, there's happens to be some organs missing. Now, you'll remember, Zelensky signed a law that lets Ukrainians harvest organs without consent. And at the time, Ukrainians were flipping out about this. Ukrainians were pissed. Ukrainians took to social media and they're like, what in the hell? Really? Without our consent, you could just take our organs? Yes, Zelensky signed that law. Ukrainian soldiers literally more profitable dead than alive to the Zelensky government because they can sell off those organs and make a lot of money per soldier. I mean, organs are very expensive on the black market. How is that possible, you ask? Well, listen as these women explain Zelensky's law, which simplifies the transplant system. And now this is in place for about almost 2 years now. This new law has been in place. And it lets Ukrainians harvest organs without your consent. So the people that are rounded up, taken to these hospitals, they've been bombed, doesn't matter. You may or may not have your organs when you wake up. Listen to these women explain.
Власти против своей страны. На примере детей. Это трансплантология. Первый закон, который принимает Верховная Рада, о том, что сносятся все барьеры, которые ведут к трансплантологии органов. То есть все возможные согласия, которые были так или иначе учтены, родственники и так далее, просто выносятся за скобки. То есть расширяется возможность для такой неограниченной преступной деятельности. Второе, что они делают. Они приглашают иностранные компании трансплантологические. И третье, что они делают, как вы думаете? Они вводят налоговые льготы для них. Для кого это правительство работает? Уважаемые коллеги, вот то, что мы видим и говорим сегодня о ценностях, это не просто красивые картинки.
Now you may be asking yourself, as many of you are asking in the chat, well, who's buying them? Well, a lot of rich people are. And, we don't have the exact numbers, okay? We don't have the exact numbers, and it's hard to really track it. But you can start to put pieces together, as I've been doing over the past number of days. And there are certain countries, let's just say in the Middle East, that do not believe in being organ donors, okay? Only 14% of the population in certain countries believe in organ donation, okay? But then when you need an organ donated to you, you have to leave that country. You have to go elsewhere because no one in your country has an organ available for you. See how this works? So your country, you don't believe in organ donation in your country until it comes time to need a kidney. And then you're like, oh crap, now I got to go to Ukraine. I got to go to the United States. I got to go out of the country where I live because I need an organ and I'll pay top dollar. Now, Israel, a number of years ago, passed a law in the Knesset that banned, because apparently you can look it up. You can look it up in the Knesset if you like. There were too many people leaving the country and buying black market organs. This is true. And the Knesset actually passed a law that stopped that. Said, no, we're not going to subsidize. We're not going to provide health care if you're basically going off the books in order to get organs. And it's not just Israel. It happens all over the world. And so it's hard to track exactly where these organs are going specifically, but we're working on it. But just to say, you have to think about the supply and demand. And where are the countries that don't believe in organ donation to begin with? They're going to need them when they suddenly need an organ, right? It is a supply and demand issue right now. And now the United States is doing, over 40,000 organ transplants per year. It's exploded. It's a huge business, though. And as we covered last year, Russian reports found some disgusting revelations. Organ harvesting business on front lines in Ukraine. Information on organ harvesting in Ukraine nowadays deserves attention, requires urgent internal efforts on monitoring and taking relevant measures. The existence of this terrible, bloody business is impossible without sponsorship at the highest level of government. According to the spokeswoman, the authorities of the Donetsk People's Republic have information on Ukrainian nationalists illegally harvesting biological materials from POWs, locals, and wounded Ukrainian soldiers, according to existing data. Now, here in this is a this is a Russian report saying they're illegally harvesting. But as you recall, Zelensky signed a law that makes it non-consensual. So it's not really illegal anymore. Just do it, right? To the rest of the world, we would say that's illegal. According to existing data in the active combat zone, 20 to 30 people per day end up being operated on by the organ harvesters, many of whom traveled to different regions from foreign countries specifically for this purpose. So these companies and these countries provide these individuals. They come in from outside, not necessarily Ukrainians doing the harvesting. They're facilitating it.
Wait, honey, this is dark.
Yes.
What you're saying is that they scour the battlefield for people who are not quite dead.
Right.
And take from them.
I mean, I'm sad about it. You know, I grew up being a Monty Python fan, but it's like, bring out your dead. I'm not dead yet. Oh, it doesn't matter. You will be soon.
So we'll just take from.
And as I pointed out earlier, and as Ukrainians have said, you are more valuable dead than you are alive, because we can take your organs and now we can sell them. Go ahead, Philip. Sorry.
No, that's fine. That's fine. There's the Monty Python, The Meaning of Life. They literally did like a forced organ harvesting donation bit in it.
Right.
Where they're just like, if you signed the donor card, they could just come for it anytime they wanted.
Right. So you're alive. Well, I'm still alive.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't matter. You signed the card. But here you don't have a choice to sign the card.
I'm just thinking this through as if this were a member of my family. So even if they had a chance of survival from an injury, but then you injure them further, there's no chance. So we think of these boys who are being forcibly conscripted off the street while they're just going to school or going to work or what have you. And then they get hurt because they have no training. And then they take from their organs, assuring their death.
Yeah, basically. Or taking one kidney when they've been knocked out and they've had a leg amputated. So they wake up and they're like, oh, well.
Also, you have just one kidney.
Also, you just have one kidney, and you might have taken some shrapnel to that area. So that's why we had to remove it.
We took a piece of your liver or what have you.
I mean, do you guys really believe that these guys are on the up and up, telling these individuals the truth about what's happened to their bodies? Like they have the moral high ground here, that these individuals are waking up without an arm and a leg, and they've got stitch marks on their back where their kidneys have been removed.
This is beyond the pale. This is almost too much.
Yeah, I mean, but these are the things we need to cover, right? I mean, it's like why we cover child trafficking in the United States here on this show, because we need to shine a light on these stories. The frickin' mainstream media is not covering it. Fox News isn't covering it. Are you kidding me? CNN's not going to cover this. We need to cover this stuff. Of course, Ukraine has been trying to downplay the child trafficking and organ harvesting, saying this is just Russian propaganda. So here's the Kiev Post, Russia's fake factory, organ harvesting from dead soldiers and Ukraine's heirs of Hitler. So they're saying, you know, their media outlets are basically pushing this out, pushing out fake information about this. Bah, sorry, that ship has sailed. Because now that Ukrainian moms are coming out demanding answers about their own sons who've had their organs removed, sorry, you can't really push that propaganda story anymore, can you? And also, it's interesting, far too many independent sources have also confirmed this trafficking problem in Ukraine. What's even more hilarious is that the Kiev Post also covered this story. So here they're out with us like, this is propaganda about child trafficking and organ harvesting and all of that. And oh, by the way, when you go through their archives, you'll realize that the Kiev Post also covered this story before Zelensky took over the media and kind of made state media. Here, front page of the Kiev Post, pedophiles find Ukraine a good place to roam.
That has to be lost in translation. I don't think they must have meant that. This is like a pedophile stream.
Oh, it is.
It's not.
Nobody knows the depths of the problem, reads the subheadline here. Nobody knows the depths of the problem, but the nation is seen as a hotbed of child pornography and sexual abuse. And of course, if you cross-reference this with the United States government and the intelligence community, the United States government broke down and stopped a massive child pornography ring that was settled right in the heart of Ukraine. That's easy to find. Simple Google search will turn that up for you. You don't need me to do that, and I'm not going to because it's disgusting to read. Here they are reporting on how Ukraine is a top destination, though, for pedophiles. So we've known about the problem in Ukraine since at least 2014. In fact, the U.S.-owned State Department website reported on this back in 2014 right on their frickin' website. You can go there right now. You can go to the U.S. Department of State's website and read this for yourself, okay? This is their own human trafficking report from 2014, and it stated clearly, quote, children in orphanages in Ukraine and crisis centers continue to be particularly vulnerable to trafficking within Ukraine. And then take a look at your screen. Oh, go back to that. This is the Huffington Post. Not exactly a right-wing publication. Dropped this bombshell report in 2015. Ukraine's orphanages are a feeder for child trafficking. The report highlights the findings of a 3-year-long investigation into Ukraine's orphanages and found that children are at risk of being trafficked for sex, labor, and the selling of their organs. Yes, organ harvesting. You see a pattern here? That's the Huffington Post.
I have a friend